welcome to my channel. My name is Martine, and if you are new here, I do videos on Vedic astrology mainly, but also with some tropical insights, and I focus on both natal and relationship astrology. And if you like this video and you would like to see more content from me, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video, and also please comment in the comment section if you would like to see any particular topics covered by me. And also, if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on a wide variety of subjects. Please check out the video description. I will leave the contact information there. Thank you. So today's video is going to be in continuation with the Arudha Lagna through signs series that I started a few weeks ago. Once again, for those of you who do not know what Arudha Lagna is or which sign your Arudha Lagna is placed in, please check out the video description. I will leave a link to a video that I made a while ago. It's really short, really concise, to the point with examples. It will answer all your main questions about Arudha Lagna. So go ahead and watch that video first to find out which side your Arudha Lagna is placed in to see if this video applies to you. Thank you. And to get straight into the description for Leo Arudha Lagna. First house, meaning the Arudha Lagna itself, will be placed in Leo, which shows that you will be perceived as a creative individual, proud, boastful sometimes perhaps. So there is a little bit of a risk of you being perceived a little bit arrogant. Certainly the kind of person who can easily be the center of attention. You can be, easily perceived as somebody who's a leader of any particular group. So needless to say, you would do well in any profession that would place you in a leadership position or at the center stage of something. So you can also be perceived as somebody who is dramatic and involved with the dramatic arts, or somebody who could easily be a performer of some form. You're also going to be perceived as, playful sometimes, but also very strong, dignified, the type of person who dresses to impress. So you're going to be seen as quite fashionable and classy, and sometimes glamorous, but generally something about your appearance will easily attract attention. And you're also going to be easily perceived as, well, a noteworthy individual. Okay, these are general impressions. Now, the second from the Arudha Lagna will be in Virgo, which shows that when you speak, people will see you as an intelligent, articulate individual. You are not necessarily perceived as very talkative, but when you do speak, you are very to the point, very concise. So generally you are well seen when you speak, because you come across as modest, informed, logical, attentive to detail, generally trustworthy overall. You're going to be seen as trustworthy and intelligent when you speak. Of course, unless malefics are affecting the second house. And the third house from the Arudha Lagna will fall in Libra, which shows that when it comes to going after what you want, you're going to be perceived as a person who would rather resort to diplomacy, tact, negotiations. You will be perceived as somebody who's striving for win-win situations, sustainable relations. So this naturally, again, kind of further emphasizes the fact that you would make a good leader, or at least you are perceived to be a good leader, because you will come across as somebody who will be naturally diplomatic. And yeah, pretty much. And you're also going to be just generally seen as a person who is not going to be resorting to aggression or any kind of, let's say, crude methods of asserting yourself or asserting your will. So yeah. And the fourth house from the Arudha Lagna will fall in Scorpio, which shows that your family of origin, your family of background, your family's background is going to be perceived as dark, mysterious, hidden, maybe very secretive, like there's a shroud of secrecy around it, but also resourceful, powerful, financially stable. You could be perceived as, coming from a family that is sometimes even, possibly, like I said, dark, so like possibly hiding a dark secret or something, like something is, like strange and hidden from sight there, like, I don't know, some, even you could also be perceived as, your family of origin could be perceived as being connected to things like psychology, things like joint ventures, finances, also any realm of the occult. So this could include things like Wicca and even astrology to some extent, but to a lesser extent. But anything that would fall under the realm of the occult or dark energies, these are things that could be associated with your family of origin. Your 5th house from the Arudha Lagna will fall in Sagittarius, which shows that your children are going to be perceived as worldly, wise, jovial, optimistic, well-read, well-educated, philosophical, truthful, lucky. They will also be perceived as being fond of travel and also somehow maybe connected to foreign cultures, or connected to travel. They're also going to be seen as people of strong faith and maybe somehow connected to religion or just anything that involves spirituality and faith. Possibly also connected to higher education. So your children are going to be perceived as being very intelligent, very educated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, the 6th house from the Arudha Lagna is going to fall in Capricorn. This shows that you're going to be perceived as somebody who is quite tough towards your enemies and towards your competition. Saturn is the planet of strategies and planning. So you're going to be seen as kind of a mastermind, a strategist when it comes to overcoming your enemies or your competition. You're not going to be seen as somebody who will be using aggression, but you're going to be seen as somebody who is very ruthless nevertheless. Because Saturn is the lack of emotional involvement, basically. So yeah, you're going to be seen as somebody who's really good at strategy, kind of like a chess player when it comes to overcoming your enemies and your competition. And also towards your subordinates. So like if you have subordinates, you're going to be seen like that. 7th house from the Arudha Lagna is going to fall in Aquarius, which shows that your partners, whether this is a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend, is going to be perceived as friendly, somewhat eccentric, somehow different from average. And they're also going to be perceived as very, scientific. So they're going to be perceived as, they could also be perceived as kind of a mad scientist, or even if they are an artist, like something's going to be unusual about them. But they could easily be seen as people who are intelligent and scientific. And even though they are quite sociable, they're also going to be a little bit socially awkward. Or at least that's how they're going to be perceived. They're also going to be perceived as people who, well, again, they're going to be fond of unconventional things, unconventional strategies, unconventional ways of life. This doesn't have to apply to every area of their life, but maybe somehow the people who know you will know them by something that they would call eccentric. So maybe this person, for instance, only follows homeopathic medicine instead of conventional medicine, or something like that. Or again, maybe they're an astrologer, and people will know that you're dating an astrologer, and yeah, that's going to be seen as eccentric. Stuff like that. So something's going to be a little bit unconventional about them. But also, they're also going to be seen as quite aloof, so emotionally aloof, detached, very intellectual, and independent. Very independent. Okay. And also, the class of people that are going to oppose you openly will also be described by Aquarius. So you could receive open opposition from people who meet this description of Aquarius. So also people who are scientific, aloof, eccentric, astrologers, people involved with esoteric means, or people who are in any profession that is unconventional, that deals with unconventional methods like alternative medicine, stuff like that. All of those things can be seen by astrology. People who believe in aliens, that kind of thing. So these are people who are going to be openly opposing you. Okay. And, right, 8th house from the Arudha Lagna will fall in Pisces, which shows that your health overall is going to be perceived as really good. You're going to be seen as quite lucky when it comes to matters of health. So, which means that even if you do have some ailments, you could easily get rid of them, or easily heal. And again, this is about perception. It's not about what actually is happening. But you're generally going to be perceived as a healthy person, unless there are malefics here. And also, when it comes to getting financial loans, it's going to be easy for you to get that because you're going to be perceived as somebody who can easily pay off their debt. This is good to take into account if you want to take a loan at the bank or wherever. Right. The 9th house from the Arudha Lagna will fall in Aries. So this shows that the class of people that are going to support you in life are going to be shown by Aries, which means men in general, young men particularly. This means men who are not fathers yet. Could also be anybody involved in the defense professions, in engineering, anything that involves cutting, mechanical things, mechanical engineers, surgeons, pilots, chauffeurs, anything to do with mechanics. Also, boyfriends. You could receive a lot of support and help from your boyfriends. But generally, the class of people that are going to support you in life are going to be shown by Aries. So, again, this helps. Also, athletes, people involved in what do you call them, martial arts or any kind of sports that are, combat sports. This is helpful, again, if you want to start a business, or if you want to, if you want to start a business, for example, it helps to target this particular segment of the population, because you're going to get more success if, you target, let's say you want to open a, a seamstress shop, for example, a tailoring shop. You would do better opening a tailor shop for men than for women with this placement, unless, again, there are other planets aspecting the 9th house or sitting in the 9th house. Things could change then, but this is generally what it's going to mean. 10th house from the Arudha Lagna will fall in Taurus, which shows that your status in life, your career, your professional trajectory is going to be somehow connected to Venus. It's going to be seen as connected to Venus and Taurus more specifically, because Libra is also ruled by Venus. But yeah, specifically in Taurus, which shows that no matter what your professional training is, you're going to be seen as quite wealthy, actually. You could also be perceived as somebody who is beautifying their environment, so connected to beauty, connected fields, artistic fields. But it could also be anybody working with money. So people working in finance, in banking, anything that is directly about making money, business, stuff like that. So yeah, your profession is going to be seen as linked to this. Your profession is also, or like your professional life is also going to be seen as quite stable, maybe slow in development, but definitely stable once you reach a certain age, and it's also just going to be perceived as a very solid position. You're going to be seen as somebody who has a decent, solid position in society. So like, kind of like you're not going anywhere anytime soon, that kind of thing. Slow and steady wins the race. And that's another thing. You're going to be perceived as being patient in your professional life or in your public life. Right. And also, your professional life is going to be seen as somehow being connected to women, particularly young women that are not mothers. Right, okay. So, 11th house from the Arudha Lagna is going to fall in Gemini. This is going to show that the way that the world perceives your siblings, your older siblings particularly, and your friend circles, your acquaintances, is going to be like they are very intelligent, very witty, youthful, resourceful, versatile, interested in a lot of things, maybe jacks of all trades, well-read, well-educated. But yeah, pretty much. So, and also very good at communications. And when it comes to your income, you could easily make money from unstable, or like, maybe not unstable, what's the word? Irregular, that's the word. Irregular sources of income. So you could make money from sales, you could make money from, investing, stocks, whatever, you name it. So you could easily make money from that. Okay. The 12th house from the Arudha Lagna is going to fall in Cancer. This shows that you're going to be perceived as somebody who could incur losses because of their mother or because of the mother's family. It could also be connected to anybody in the restaurant business or connected to home-based businesses. This could be interior decoration or anybody who works on, laying tiles in apartments, for instance. People like that, you could incur debt on account of that. But another thing is that your hidden enemies are also shown by the 12th house, and this shows that your hidden enemies could come from people in the restaurant business, or again, people connected to home things, real estate. It can also be your mother. Like, the moon is literally the mother. So this could be that your mother is a hidden enemy, or mothers in general. Some mother figures will be your hidden enemies. Now, hidden enemy means that these people are not going to directly oppose you, but they're not going to have your best intentions at heart. That's pretty much it. So as opposed to the 7th house, which shows open enemies. So those are people who are going to tell you to your face that they don't approve of you or approve of things that you do. But 12th house is, they're not going to tell you, but they're not going to support you, or they might even quietly sabotage you. Yeah. Pretty much, this is or another thing that it can show is people in any kind of liquid business, liquid beverage business, or connected to the sea travel, whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, and this is pretty much it, my short description of Leo Arudha Lagna. I hope you have found it useful. Please comment in the comment section if you have, or if you don't agree with anything that I've said. If you have any other examples. Oh, and before I finish, the famous examples which I have found and whose photos you're going to see on the screen are Vivien Leigh, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Jennifer Aniston, Katherine Hepburn, and Al Capone. Al Capone, unfortunately, was the only man that I could find with Leo Arudha Lagna. If you have any other examples of famous people, please let me know in the comment section. So this has been it. Once again, thank you, and if you liked it, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and if you are interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on a wide variety of subjects. Please check out the video description. I will leave the information there. Thank you.